What's up, KFG gang? It's your boy Big Boy John 25 minutes, and I'm going to do my AEW review and highlights you guys new. Hit that like button, hit that red button. Let's get started. Now, AEW Dynamite was a fantastic show. It was just a fantastic show. Alright, let's get started. AEW Dynamite opens with highlights of a transpire on last week's show and key moment such as John Moxley versus the Inner Circle, Christopher Daniels in the Dark Order, Britt Baker, Hangman Adam Page, and the issue within the Elite, and more. From their reshoot live inside the Heb Center near Austin, Texas, to kick off this week's episode with Jim Ross and the gang welcoming us on commentary while pyro explodes, fireworks erupts, and the AEW fans in the audience attendance screams a holler. Alright, AEW World Tag Team Champions. AEW World Tag Team Championships. Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega versus Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian. This match was fantastic. JR takes things down to Justin Roberts in the ring. Announcer begins the formal pre-match introductions for our first of the two title matches on tonight's show. This match, with all of the contestants already standing in the ring ready to go, will feature the AEW World Tag Team Champions on the line, with Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega defending against so-called uncensored SCU, the former title holders Scorpion Sky and Frankie Kazarian. The fans chant "Holy You Know What" as the bell sound to kick off this rematch for the AEW World Tag Team Champions. As soon as the match begins, before anyone touches the match, is interrupted by the Dark Order in the Titantron. The group delivers a message about the exacted one, nothing, that when the time is right, they will strike. With that said, Daniels, who was at ringside with SCU, volunteered to go to the back to investigate. Meanwhile, Sky and Kazarian, confused at all get ready for their shot at the champs. Kazarian and Omega will be kicking things off with their respective teams. Kazarian grabs Omega with a headlock and gets this one officially underway. Early on, SCU hits a cheap shot from the ring apron, which Omega returns a favor with a receipt of a JR's point out on commentary. Sky once again with a cheap shot from the ring apron, followed up by Kazarian knocking Hangman off the apron on the other side for no reason. The announcer stressed that SCU is doing everything in their power to regain the titles. This leads to SCU doing some double team offense with the two looking for SCU ladder until Hangman intervenes. He and Omega get on the same page and execute some double team offense. Omega hawks up and then hits the ropes for a dive, but his leg is pulled out from under him. Instead, Sky hits a dive, with Omega following up with a dive of his own. The announcers plug the upcoming tag team battle royal. Nothing the losers of this match will be added to about next week's show. Page is dominating in the action in the ring until Kazarian knocks him off the top rope behind the referee's back. Omega is out taking a beating as the legal man in the ring for the tag team champions, and Kazarian leading the offense for the challengers. Omega is dumped to the floor by Kazarian, and in a waiting, Sky spears him into the barricade and then in the ring apron before rolling him back in to eat more punishment from Kazarian in the ring. Kazarian with a big leaping leg drop off the middle ropes for a long 2 count. Finally, after enduring what seems like never-end punishment from the challengers, Omega makes the tag. Hangman takes the hot tag and comes in the ring, taking out any in the process with his wild cowboy you know what, which the fans appropriately begun chanting for right on crew. Page continues to Page continues the big comeback in the ring for the reigning champs. However, he can't get a 3 count on any of his pinfall attempts. Page awaits for Omega, who sells his rib. Omega is sent over the top and to the floor, with JR speculating that he may have hurt his knee. Meanwhile, Hangman Page missed a buckshot lariat attempt, leading to Sky blasting him. Sky and Kazarian with a assistant DDT for another near fall, as the former title holders are starting to take back over control of the offense. The tag champs fired up. Omega with a V trigger and Hangman with a buckshot lariat for the 1-2-3. The champs retain in an excellent rematch against the former title holders SCU to kick off this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. The winner is still AEW World Tag Team Champions Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. After the match, all hell breaks loose. After the match, Hangman drinks a beer with a fan in the front row while Omega celebrates and heads to the back. The Dark Order ends up surrounding the ring and slowly entering it. The Best Friends and the Young Bucks are also out now. Nick and Matt Jackson are taking out everyone remaining in the ring. The ring is left empty while they stand tall. They go to the top rope on opposite corners and fly, taking out everyone on the floor before re-entering the ring to celebrate. On that note, JR takes us to a commercial break. Jim Ross sits down with Santana. After running down some of their matches on tape for tonight's show, the announcers kick it to a pre-taped one-on-one sit-down interview with Jim Ross talking to Santana of the Inner Circle, proud and powerful tag team inside the ring in an empty arena. Santana tells the story of his life and how he didn't have things so good growing up. He talks about how hard, tough paths that lead to him being who he is and where he is today. The Inner Circle member talks about his father not being able to see as he started going blind at 14 years old. He asks people to imagine being told they wouldn't be able to see ever again. He then talks about losing his father. All of this leads to Jim Ross talking about tonight's eye for an eye match against Jon Moxley. Another cryptic video from Darby Allin includes AEW Revolution Challenge. The announcers shoot it to another cryptic video from Darby Allin, which this time wasn't quite cryptic at all. Darby Allin is never shown, however, he flips through a number of cardboard signs that reads as follows. Smashing my throat with the skateboard. You made problems. Sooner or later I found you. But in the meantime, Sammy, you busy at Revolution? Hit me up. A sketch of Sammy Guevara is shown with a Captain Bubble reading, kissing Jericho's you know what gave me herpes. Sammy Guevara versus Dustin Rhodes. I really like this match, don't get me wrong, but I'm glad Dustin Rhodes won. But anyway, after the challenge to Sammy Guevara from Darby Allin, we are showing a video footage from weeks ago of the Inner Circle smashing Darby Allin's throat with a skateboard. From there, the Spanish guy Sammy Guevara makes his way out to the ring, accompanied by Jack Hager. After that, the natural Dustin Rhodes theme hits, and he comes half painted red and black as usual. The bell sounded, and here we go. Dustin Rhodes jumps off to an early offensive advantage, so much so that Guerrero tells Hager to come with him to the back. he wants to walk out on this one. However, he turns the corner. Dustin comes flying off the ring steps to take him out. Dustin gets in Hager's face and then catches Sammy jumping off the same ring steps he leaped from with a clothesline, and he rolls him back into the ring as JR takes us to a mid-match split-screen commercial break. We return from the break to see Guerrero in control of the offense moments later. However, Dustin begins his comeback. The natural starts taking over and blasting Guerrero with big punches and uppercuts for good measure before beating him down in the corner and catching him coming in with a wicked counter power slam. Dustin calls for a top rope spot. As he begins his climb, the fans start chanting, "You still got it." Dustin climbs up backwards as he sees Hager coming up the ring steps. Guerrero rolls out from behind and goes for the pin. Somehow he kicked out. Hager is freaking out as a result of that not sealing the deal for Guerrero. The Spanish God climbs to the top rope himself now. Dustin catches him in a ascent to the top rope himself. Dustin back body drops Guerrero off the top rope. Guerrero leaps back up to the top rope and tries to bring Dustin off with him. However, Dustin barely suplexes him down. Dustin jumps off the ropes into an immediate Kennedy Destroyer. Dustin follows that up with his final reckoning finisher for the 1-2-3. Dustin Rhodes picks up the win at the AEW. Fans explode inside the Help Center as highlights from the match are shown. The winner of the match, Dustin Rhodes. After the match, Dustin calls out Jericho's "You Know What." Once the match ends, Hager and Guerrero starts heading to the back. A fired up Dustin gets on the mic and stops him. He says he's not talking to him. He's talking to Jericho's "You Know What" after Guerrero reacts. Dustin makes it clear he's taking to Hager directly. He asks if he's going to earn his paycheck or just keep standing around. He tells him his MMA career has been failing and now his AEW career is too. He challenged him to a match at AEW Revolution after remaining fans. Hager broke his arm a week ago. Hager and Guerrero walk to the back. Tony Schiavone talks to Dr. Britt Baker. That is that time once again for Tony Schiavone to attempt to talk to Dr. Britt Baker at the top of the entrance ramp. Schiavone introduced Baker and out she comes as the fans boo. After highlights are shown of Baker ripping the tooth out of a fellow's AEW Women's Champion's mouth. She talks sarcastically about as a dentist giving her oral surgery for free, claiming the tooth needed to be removed / extracted anyways, so she did her a favor. Tony Schiavone asks Baker for her opinion about the AEW Women's World Champion showdown later in tonight's show between reigning title holder Rio and Nyla Rose. Baker seems put the two over before pointing out that at the best day we competing to be number 2 to her. Baker then talks trash and mocks all of the fans in the audience inside the Help Center before boasting and bragging about being the women's division in of itself all by herself. The fans boo and chant negative crap at Baker until she finally hands the mic off to Tony Schiavone and heads to the back. JR then takes us to a commercial break as Baker continues to walk off to the back. AEW Women's Championship match. Nyla Rose versus Rio. This match was I can't get right behind the AEW Women's Division, but I knew Nyla Rose took the title off of Rio. This was a decent match. After some final build-up, the introductions and the ring walks take place for our second AEW Championship contest of the evening. This match will be the contest of the AEW Women's Division. Nyla Rose makes her way out first, with the announcers putting over how dangerous she is. From there, the reigning AEW Women's World Champion Rio makes her way to the ring, with JR saying all 98 pounds of her is one of her way to the ring. The Excalibur reminds us of Nyla Rose attacking Rio and slamming her on a table, and that didn't break. And as the bell sounded, the official started this one off. As soon as the bell rings, Rio literally sprints to the other corner, leaping and squashing onto Rose to immediately kick off the championship contest. Rose used her size and strength to move Rio around the ring. However, the first time the champion sped put Rose on her back, she attempts a pin. Nyla Rose kicks out and resumes her onslaught on Rio. She tries to inaugurate cover, which only gets the count of 2 from the referee on the pin attempt for the challenger. Rio capitalized on a mistake by Rose. Rio uses quickness and rapid dropkick to knock Rose out of the floor. She climbs to the top and flies off with a big splash. However, Rose catches her and blasts her with a backbreaker before smashing her spine first onto the ring apron. Nyla looks down at the ring on the floor. She reaches under the ring and pulls out a table. She sets it up outside the ring as the referee scrolls her. Rio charges and runs off the table, using it as a ramp away, and drop kicks Rose onto some cords near the timekeepers at ringside. Rio jumps on Rose and fires away with punches as we are taken to a mid-card split-screen commercial break. We return and Rose is already controlling the action again in the ring, punishing Rio with ease throughout the majority of the contest. She gets the argument with lazy cover on pin attempts, which the announcers keep pointing out. It is a glare error. Nyla bites the face of Rio with both on the top rope. She comes off with a flying Death Valley driver off the top and drapes her arm across the champion for the cover. 1-2, and the champ again somehow finds a way to kick out. Fans chant Rio as she continues to try and fights back on offense. Rose goes for the Wigan Angel. ALA Kenny Omega, however, Rio ends up reversing into a snapping dragon suplex, also on Nyla Omega. Rio continues to deliver big moves to Rose. She charges for the running knee strike in the corner, but Rose is nowhere to be found. Rose goes to pick Rio up for a power bomb, but almost drops her. Rio grabs the ankle of the challenger and reverses her, followed up with a big Northern Light suplex for a close near fall. The champion now climbs to the top rope as the fans break out into "This is awesome" chant. Rio comes flying off the top rope with double foot stomps and a pin attempt. Rose kicks out at 1. Rio does it again. She doesn't cover this time. She goes right back up and comes off the double stomp again. She covers her, but Rose somehow managed to get her foot on the ropes in time, forcing the referee to stop the count. Now the champion runs right into a big time spear for the challenger. Rose follows up with her power bomb finisher for the pin. 1, 2, 3. We have a new champion. The winner and new AEW Women's World Champion Nyla Rose. This match was decent. It was just a decent, but I'm glad Nyla Rose took the title off of Rio. All right, moving on. Chris Jericho with a message from Jon Moxley. We return from commercial to see Chris Jericho backstage. Lee Champion address his upcoming title challenger at AEW Revolution / Jon Moxley. Chris Jericho claims to have secured the globe for a hitman to take out Moxley after talking about being disgusted at Moxley's attack on Santana's eye last week on AEW Dynamite. The AEW World Champion announces that if Moxley gets past Santana in their eye for an eye match later tonight, he has brought in Jeff Cobb to take him on next week in single action on AEW Dynamite. Jericho concludes his promo by telling Moxley that he will see him in hell. MJF versus Jungle Boy. We are showing some video highlights of Cody Rhodes taking the 10 lashes from the whip by MJF on last week's show per their pre-match stipulations. Agreement heading to AEW Revolution 2020 later this month. After the video concludes, we are introduced the Cody's wife Brandy Rhodes, who has joined the announcers at the commentary table. They bring up the steel cage match scheduled for next week's show, with Brandy Rhodes admitting she is nervous about. From there, the familiar music of Maxwell Jacob Friendman plays as MJF makes his way to the ring with Warlow. He tells Warlow to head to the back as he wants to go this one alone. MJF continues his walk to the ring as JR takes us to a pre-match commercial break. MJF goes one-on-one with Jungle Boy of Jurassic Express when AEW Dynamite returns. When we return from commercial, Jungle Boy makes his way out, accompanied by Jurassic Express. However, he tells them to head to the back the same way MJF told Warlow during his entrance. We hear that Brandy Rhodes is still with the gang on commentary as the bells sound to start this match off. The fans break out into dueling chants as MJF and Jungle Boy close in on each other. The two collide with neither man establishing the lengthy offensive run. However, Jungle Boy is showing early on that MJF is going to need to take him seriously if he wants to win this one. Brandy on commentary mentions Jungle Boy can make you look stupid real quick. With that said, Jungle Boy lights up the arena by flying all over the place, knocking MJF from the pillar to post until finally the heel established the first extended offense run in the contest. MJF is bending the rules and getting schooled by the referee as he continues to use little tactics and heel attacks and tactics to establish the lead in the match. We are showing Arn Anderson watching on from backstage as he continues to scout MJF on behalf of Cody leading up to their showdown at AEW Revolution. MJF keeps Jungle Boy laid out on the floor and arrogantly rolls back into the ring and let the referee count him out. As she begins her count, JR takes us to a mid-match split-screen commercial break as Jungle Boy approaches the ring, where it appears the action will continue. We're back from the break and MJF is still in control. However, Jungle Boy is starting to show signs of life. He fought his way back into the contest after knocking MJF to the floor and hitting 3 consecutive dives from inside the ring, finishing with a flip over the top into the MJF on the third and final dive. Back in the ring, Jungle Boy follows up with some other high-impact offense. The announcers keep selling the lower back injury of Jungle Boy. MJF turns the tables on Jungle Boy in the corner, and now he is comfortably in control of the contest once again. MJF continues to deliver punishment to the son of the late actor Luke Perry before stopping to shout, which is a audibly heard on the television broadcast, to Brandy Rose about how she can still leave Cody and be with a real man. This angers Jim Ross, who loses his cool and shouts from him into "Shut up" and "Shut up, you jerk" on commentary. Meanwhile, Wallow makes his way to ringside after being told to head to the back to let MJF go this one alone. He hands MJF a brass knuckle when the referee is out of position and blasts Jungle Boy with them. He hit the double cross finisher and covers him for the 1-2-3. MJF wins and moves on to Atlanta, as JR informs us on the broadcast. The winner of the match, MJF. After the match, Rollo and Jurassic Park. Once the match ends, MJF calls for Rollo to continue his beatdown on Jungle Boy to add insult to injury. As he goes to do so, out comes the Jurassic Express power of Jungle Boy to even up the numbers game. We head to commercial with JR plugging next week's steel cage match at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. The Master Pac with a message from Kenny Omega. We return from the break to a black and white vintage that shows the Master Pac addressing Kenny Omega and all of his problems. He claims they are all because of him and that he is the God you know what best, and he knows the depths of his conviction. Pac claims Omega fears him as he you know what should be. He tells him he can duck or dodge him for long as soon as I have over 40 minutes to punish him. Coming up in All Elite Wrestling, after the video package wrap up, we shoot to the announcer table where Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and the Excalibur runs down some newly announced and previously announced matches for next week's AEW Dynamite as well as the upcoming AEW Revolution pay-per-view. Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle arrived from main event ahead of tonight's I-4 and I main event showdown between Jon Moxley and Santana of the Inner Circle's proud and powerful tag team. League champion of AEW Chris Jericho, along with the other members of the Inner Circle, head out and up to their special box section seat in the arena. The group will be watching on as Moxley and Santana battle it out on the headline bout of the evening. Eye for an eye match. Santana versus Jon Moxley. This match was fantastic. Out comes Santana, accompanied by his tag team partner Ortiz. Santana is still wearing an eye patch over one of his eye following Moxley's attacks last week. Settles in the ring as his music fades down. From there, the familiar music of Jon Moxley plays as he too comes out wearing an eye patch over one eye following the Inner Circle attacks of his eye. A few weeks ago, Moxley gets the Goodfellas kitchen camera shoots as the camera follows, from the backstage arena through the crowd in the arena all the way to the ring. The Eye for an Eye main event between Jon Moxley and Santana is next here on AEW Dynamite. Before the match can even officially get started, Moxley attacks Santana and Ortiz during the closing moment of his walk through the ring. After a couple of minutes of brawling at ringside, Moxley and Santana finally enter the ring to continue slugging it out. As they do, the bell sounds to a formal start the match. Quickly, the action split right back out into the floor at ringside. Moxley comes flying off the top rope and crashing onto Santana on the floor. He falls up, but ends up on the ground, grounded near the ring step, while Santana tears his ribs at the injured eye Moxley. Moxley fights his way out, but Santana hits a baseball slide kick to the grill of Moxley that floors him. On that note, we head to a mid-match commercial. We're back from the break, and the match is still in progress. We are shown Chris Jericho in the inner circle watching on from the crowd as the momentum picks up inside the ring. Santana is getting the better of Moxley until he comes off the top and lands a stomach first on the double knees put up by Moxley on the mat. Another glimpse of the inner circle is shown as both guys struggle to make it to their feet. Referee kick Rick Knox is shown watching as Ortiz grabs the loaded sock / forgetting object weapon and stands behind Moxley on the ring apron. Moxley ends up blasting Santana and nothing comes of Ortiz in the weapon. Moxley continues to deliver punishment to Santana and goes to the top rope, and out of nowhere, Ortiz sprays some type of alcohol on the good eye of Moxley. Santana follows that up with a cannonball senton splash in the corner. He goes to the top rope and nails a beautiful fall splash. He covers Moxley 1-2. Moxley kicks out. The inner circle are shown starting to look nervous as they watch on from their luxury box seat. Moxley is trying to fight his way back into this one as the fans rally behind him and encourage him with their cheers and chants. It worked as he blasted Santana out of nowhere with the pentagram shift DDT for the pin for victory. The winner of the match, Jon Moxley. After the match, the chaos continues. After the match ends, both members of Pound and Powerful double team and assault Moxley in the ring. They are eventually joined by the rest of the members of the inner circle, who is fled from their luxury box seat to the ring to help deliver punishment to the AEW World Championship #1 contender. Each guy take turns hitting their finishers on Moxley as he just takes one more and more punishment while the numbers game is heavily in the favor of the heel squad. Jericho finished up with the beatdown with a Judas effect finishing elbow. He must covers Moxley while the inner circle members smack the mat in funk referee fashion. Now, if that wasn't enough, the champion calls to the back from there. Some music hits, and out comes Jeff Cobb, the baddest man in all the land. According to JR on commentary, Jericho referred to Jeff Cobb being the hitman and he hired to take out Moxley. If Moxley got past Santana tonight, which he did, JR reminds us that Jon Moxley versus Jeff Cobb will take place on next week's show. That will do it for this week's AEW Dynamite. JR invites us to tune in again next week when AEW invades in the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. Make sure to join us here for live result coverage of the show. Same bait time, same bait channel. Alright, AEW was a good show. I really have fun watching AEW. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for AEW Revolution. But like I said earlier, let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think of AEW Dynamite. I need your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section down below. I'm finna get ready to stream WWE 2K20, my Universe Mode episode 19 for SmackDown. But anyway, let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think of AEW Dynamite. AEW was a good show, just like NXT was a good show last night. I really had fun watching AEW. And I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? I appreciated the love and support that I give you guys. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'm 2 away from reaching 3K, and that's all I gotta say, man. Shout outs to the KFG gang. Shout outs to DJ Storms, Boom Dodge. Shout outs to TM161, AC from New York, Sammy Talks, Cold Trains, K9 J, and that's all I gotta say. Shout outs to the real Rosie Wren. Shout outs to the real Rosie Wren if you're watching this video. That's all I gotta say. Shout outs to the KFG family. I'm finna upload my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. So I'll talk to you guys later. KFG gang, and I'm out of here. And I will be streaming WWE 2K20 episode 19 SmackDown tonight. See you guys in my live stream. Talk to you guys later, and I'm out of here. Peace.